Okay, Bliss. So hopefully this first problem, which you already got done, you understood, you did it correctly. Basically, all you had to do is, because x equals 4y, put in for x 4y, and then you did your math from there, right? But again, study this if you need to make sure you understood that one. Okay, this problem number 2. Basically, since y equals 3x, we're going to take 3x and put it in for the other y. That's called substitution. So you notice right here, my first equation right here is now x plus 3x equal to 8. And of course, x plus 3x is 4x equal to 8. Dividing by 4, x is 2. Now I'm going to plug 2 in there for x, and that's what I did over here. So if y is 3x, 3 times 2 is 6, so that's why my answer is 2, 6. Okay, on this one right here, since y equaled negative 5x plus 15, I put it right in there for the other y right there. So I had to times it by that 3 there. So if you look over here, this is the second equation, and I plugged in my negative 5x plus 15 for y. So that meant I had to do my distributive property here. 3 times negative 5 is negative 15x. 3 times 15 is 45. Now I had to combine like terms, so negative 15 and negative x is negative 16x. 45 plus 3 is 48, equal to 0. And then all I did was solve and get 3. And then once I knew x is 3, I plugged the 3, if you follow the green, right into there for x to find y. So right here in red, I did my math. Y equals negative 5 times x3 plus 15, which comes out to be 0. So that's why my answer is 3, 0. Okay, this one right here, again, they want us to use substitution method. So this one, because it only had a single y, I solved for y. That's what I did right over here. So all I did was add 2x to both sides. So 2x plus 22 equals y. Now I can plug 2x plus 22 in here in the other y. So if you look down here, this is my first equation, and right here is where I plugged in 2x plus 22. So again, I had to use my distributive property. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 22 is 66. I combine 3x and 6x, 9x. I minus 66 from both sides to get minus 63. Dividing by 9, I got negative 7. Now I plug that right in there, and that's what you see right over here in red. So 2 times x, which is negative 7 plus 22, ends up being 8. So my answer is x negative 7, y 8. Okay, now this one I want to show you a neat trick. I don't know if your teacher will let you get away with it, but since that right there is an 8y, 2y times 4 is 8y, right? So what I did was I times everything in the second equation by 4. Okay? So 4 times 5, 20. 4 times 2, 8. 4 times 10, 40. Now that I have them both 8y, couldn't I take this, because that equals 8y, and plug it in for this 8y? So if you look down here, that's what I did. So I had 20x, see that? 8y is now negative 20x plus 40, and it's supposed to equal 40. And notice 20 minus 20 is 0x. Now when the x is gone, you can't solve for it, right? So when you can't solve for it, it's either no solution or infinite solution. Well, since 40 does equal 40, this is true, right? When it's true, that's when you have infinite solutions. So when it still works mathematically and it's true, and there's no letter or x or y left to solve for, if it's true, it's infinite solutions. If it doesn't work, then it's no solutions. And here's a perfect example. Look at this one right here. Now I use the same trick, basically. If you look right here, I noticed that was 14x and that was 14x. So I took my second equation and I minus 9y both sides to solve for 14x. That's what I did right here. Then I'm able to take this, put it in for the other 14x. So if you look at my first equation right here, it's over here, and all I did was I did 14. See, the 14 equals 9y. The 14x, though, is now this right here, 15 minus 9y. Now notice the 9y's will cancel out. 9 minus 9 is 0y, so there's no more letters or variables anymore. Notice I end up with 14 equal to 15. No, that doesn't work. That's false, right? That's not true. That's why this one is no solution. Okay, last one. This one gave you extra information, so here's basically how you do it, Bliss. First of all, they tell you the perimeter is 38, right? So right here, do you agree 2 times the length plus 2 times the width is a perimeter, which is 38. So there's one equation. All I need is another equation to put them together as a system. So right here, you notice right here, it says the length is 4 more than twice the width. So if you look at my equation I just circled in yellow, the length equals 4 more than twice the width. And now what I can do is I can take 4 plus 2w, plug it in for the other L or length. And that's what I did right here. I put in 4 plus 2w here. Now I have to distribute. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 2 is 4w. 4 and 2w is 6w. If you minus 8 both sides, you get 30. Dividing by 6, w is 5. So now all I had to do was plug it in here into my first equation, because length is 4 plus 2, twice the width, right? And 2 times 5 is 10, plus 4 is 14. So I know the length is 14 centimeters. I know the width is 5 centimeters.